second graders. Welcome to your TV classroom. Today is Thursday. Nope.
Mrs. Wally, I'm just going to kiss my brain. Let's just
Go for it.
go for it.
Because I'm thinking right now, oh yeah, I still have those clothes back there. You can get them off the stage. Focus, Wally, focus.
Oh, I thought we were just going to go. Okay, I'll start
No.
over.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
All righty.
Hi, second graders. Welcome to your TV classroom. Today is Thursday, January 21st. Can you believe it? January is almost over already. I know you've been working hard and we've been working hard here at the classroom, TV classroom. Oh, it's getting late in the afternoon and sometimes my words don't come out the way I mean them to, but that's okay. Before we get started with our learning, let's take an inventory of our feelings. How are you doing today? What zone are you in? You know, Gus, I'm in the green zone. I'm doing okay. There's nothing like great and there's nothing horrible, and I'm just doing okay. So, make sure you share your feelings with your learning buddy or someone around you, because it's important to say your feelings and recognize them because they matter. It's time for What's Missing Thursday. Now, when I was a student, and my teachers gave me problems that didn't have the missing number as the solution to the problem, I would freak out. What do you mean? I don't have all the information. I can't do it. I don't know. But we do know. And I've learned that I did know. I just didn't learn how to figure that out. So we're going to practice that today. So you're going to see a missing number. And then we're going to have our little moment. And then we're going to go, okay, so what do I know? And then we're going to find what's missing. You ready? Let's look at the first one. Something minus 9 is the same as 0. What do we know? Well, we don't know our total. I did it again, Mr. Kevin. I always forget to get my pen ready. We don't know the total, something, but we do know what? We do know one part is 9, the part we're taking away, and we do know the part that we have left is 0. Well, look at that number bond. What do you do when you have two parts to find the whole? You put them together. So what's 9 plus 0? It's 9. Now we check to make sure that makes sense. If I have 9 and I take away 9, will I have nothing? If you have 9 pieces of candy and you eat all 9 pieces of candy, will you have any candy left? No, you will not. Okay? What do we know? When we subtract, we have a whole, we take away the part, and we find the other part. So I have a whole of 12. I don't know how many I'm taking away, but I do know when I'm done, I'm going to have 8 left. So what could I do? There's lots of ways you could solve that. Go ahead and solve it and see if you get the correct answer. Do you have an answer? Are you ready? The answer is 4. You could say 12 and take 8 away, and you would get 4. Or you could say, well, I know when I have a missing part, I can count on to the whole and count the space in between. So I could say 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, that's 4. Or I could say, I don't know, there's other ways to do it. You could draw a picture, right? But the missing part is 4. We are actually missing a part. See, we're missing the part. Okay, what do we know? Yes, we know 13 is our whole. What else do we know? 9 is one of our parts. Okay, solve. Find the missing part. Look at that. It's 4 again. I did a little different that time. I said, oh, 13, I have to get to 9. Well, if I take 3 away from 13, I get to 10, and 1 more gets me to 9. And 3 and 1 is 4. You may have done it a different way, and that's okay. Okay, what do we know? 18 is our whole. 7 is one of our parts. What are we trying to figure out? Another part. Go ahead. What's our missing part? 11. If I have 18 and I take 11 away, I will get 7. Or if I'm at 7, I need to count up 11 to get to 18. So 18 minus 11 is 7. Okay. Don't freak out. What do you know? Well, we know one part is 10 and one part is 35. So we're trying to figure out the whole. What do we do when we know 2 parts, second graders? We put them together. What is 35 plus 10? It's 45. Excellent job. Today we're learning multiple ways to write and understand 3-digit numbers. We're starting a new group of lessons, and we're going to be looking at all the ways you can write 3-digit numbers to understand them. Because just being able to write the number or just being able to build the number isn't good enough. You have to understand what it means so that you can use that number as one of those things we know to help us figure out the things we don't know. So we're going to work and explore that together for the next 5 lessons or so. Okay? Awesome. Make sure that you have your whiteboard and pen and base 10 blocks if you have them. Some students have paper base 10 blocks. You could bring those out, or you can just draw them on your board. I need you to write blank hundreds plus blank tens plus blank ones equals blank on your board to match this picture. I'm going to do it on my board. You're going to do it on your board, and this is review. So we're going to see if you know. Okay, so Mr. Kevin, don't show my board yet. Okay. Yep. I ran out of space. Okay, friends, are you ready? Take a look at my board. Boop. 300s, because there's 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. Plus 2 tens, because there's 2 of them. Plus 7 ones, because there's 7 of them. Equals 327. That's what you should have written. If you were not able to do that problem, you need to make sure you let your teacher know that and check in with them, okay? Because they can do a small group with you and help you. Story problem time. Mr. Kevin, we'll make it big while we read it, and then we'll go back to this view when we solve. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna do a 3 read. We're gonna read it first. What's happening? We're not solving it. We're not adding numbers. We're just saying, what's the situation? Jan buys 200 blue balloons, 70 white balloons, and 5 green balloons. How many balloons does Jan buy? What's happening here? Yeah, Jan's buying balloons. She buys 3 different colors. Great. We're going to read it again. This time, you are figuring out what it... Mr. Kevin, I don't know why my pen is not working. I wonder if the battery died on it.
That one doesn't have a battery.
I don't know why it's not working. That's interesting. Well, I'll just use my finger. Problem solved. Okay. So we're going to highlight the question. I'm going to read it again, figure out what's the question. Jan buys 200 blue balloons, 70 white balloons, and 5 green balloons. How many balloons does Jan buy? What's the question? Yeah, how many balloons does Jan buy? Okay. Now we're going to read it one more time, and we're going to figure out the information we have to help us solve this problem. But we're only going to highlight the information we need. All the other stuff, we're just going to leave on the page. Jan buys 200 blue balloons, 70 white balloons, and 5 green balloons. What's the important information? 200 blue balloons, 70 white balloons, and 5 green balloons. Go ahead, draw a model to represent this problem. Go ahead, you have 1 minute. Okay, Mr. Kevin, you can show my board. Friends, if you notice, I did a bar model. Now, you may have gone straight to drawing base 10 blocks. Totally fine. That's fine. My model shows 200 blue, 70 white, 5 green. What are we trying to figure out? Yeah, we want to know the total here. So now I can use place value to help me. I've got, it's broken into hundreds, tens, and ones. So I can do hundreds, tens, and ones. Now it says 200 blue. So do I have 200 hundreds or just 2 hundreds? Well, 100, 200 blue. How many hundreds is that? 1, 2. Okay, 2 hundreds, 70 white. I'm going to draw 200s, 70 white, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. That's 7 tens and 5 green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what do we have? We get the number 275 balloons. How could I write an equation to show that thinking? You could do it with numbers or words, right? Go ahead and you decide which way you want to do it. You could do 200 plus 70 plus 5 equals, or you could do 200s plus 7 tens plus 5 ones equals, either way is accurate, okay? So we figured out 275 balloons. So now it says, how many balloons did Jan buy? Look at your board. How many balloons did she buy? She bought 200. I forgot that that's not working. She bought 275 balloons. Great job. Let's take a look. We just need full screen, Mr. Kevin. Okay, so the digits of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 can make up any number. So the digit you see holds value based on where it is in the number. So a 4 in the ones place means how many? 4. I'm trying to figure out why this isn't working. Let's see if it's working now. No. Okay. It means 4. Okay. But a 4 in the tens place does not mean 4. What does it mean? It means 4 groups of 10. 10, 20, 30, 40. So it's the same digit as this one right here. They're the same digits, but they mean something different because they're in a different spot in the number. So 4 ones just means 4, like 4 fingers. But 4 tens actually means 4 groups of 10, which is 40. And then, which is 41s, right? 10, 20, 30, 40 shows 40 of the little tiny squares put into groups of 10. And then we get to the hundreds. And what does this 4 mean? Right on your board. What do you think this 4 means? That 4 means 400. And that's how we get the number 444. Now, we don't write it like this. Right? That's not 444. That's why we have the value of the digit. So to make 400, we put 4 in the hundreds place. To make 40, we put 4 in the tens place. And to make 4, we put 4 in the ones place. So if we only use digits, we would write the number 444. Write that on your board. Now, expanded form is when we write the value of each digit and we add it to the next value of the next digit, and we add it to the next value of the next digit. So, just like we did here in the place value chart, 444 equals, so we start with the hundreds place, which is 400 plus 40, they did for us, plus, and what's our ones place? 4. It's just taking all the digits and putting them with value, and it's like taking it apart and showing each value, where the digit form is showing kind of the clue. It's like the hidden clue puzzles, right? And then you can write it as words. 400, and then you write 40. And it's 4T, not D, 4T, 4. Ta-da! All of those ways show the number 444. Pretty cool, huh? So Gabe says the number in the place value chart is, look what Gabe wrote. Look what I did over here. What did Gabe do? Let's go on our whiteboard. What was Gabe's mistake? This was our place value chart. And we had 4, 4, 4. And Gabe said that means the number is 4. Oh dear. What did Gabe do? Gabe wrote down what he said. I see students do this all the time. They say, well, it's 444. That makes sense to do it that way, but that's not how our number system works. Now, Gabe could easily fix this. What could Gabe do? 400 is 400 plus 40 plus 4. Gabe could do that. Gabe could write 400 44, right? Yeah. Or Gabe could say, I'm going to write it with digits. I've got 4 ones, 4 tens, and 4 hundreds. I've got 444. We say the value with the number, which is so confusing. Why not just have it be 444? Well, because what happens when you're at like 3 million? The numbers would be like, I don't even have enough space, right? So there's shorthand, and we now know because of our number system that when we see a number, it's made of digits. These are the digits. The digits we can use are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Those are the digits we can use. This number happens to be made up of all the same digits. Okay? And where that digit is in the number tells us how much that digit is worth. If it's here, it's in the ones place. If it's here, it's worth groups of 10. If it's here, it's worth groups of hundreds. What do you think if it's here? It's worth groups of thousands. So if I did this, what number would we be? Now, this is taking you into 4th grade territory. Okay? And 3rd grade territory. But let's look. If this is groups of 1,000, this would be 4,000, 444. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. All right.
That's a big number.
It is a big number. Okay, friends, awesome job. You are going to do page 321 and 322, looking at place value, what it means, and how you understand it. We're going to work with this a lot. So if you're like, Mrs. Wally, I don't know about that. This was our very first lesson talking about this. So no problem. I want you to sit with it and think about it today. It's okay to feel that uneasy feeling. That's really normal in math. And that means we're just going to dig in deeper, okay? You are strong mathematicians, and I know you can do it. Today, we learned multiple ways to write and understand 3-digit numbers. We used base 10 models. We used words. We used expanded form. We talked about the meaning and how much it's worth. Excellent work today, 2nd graders. Okay, so before you go, make sure you have your Learning Buddy, your ELA packet, and your whiteboard and marker ready to go. You're going to have a break time and then come back and do your learning with Miss Oslin. I hope you have a great Thursday, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.
Good day, young aviators. Did you know that we live in an amazing state? Not only is Washington famous for its spectacular scenery, but did you know that Washington State is famous for making airplanes? So today, we will be using our arms' muscular strength to fly around Washington State and see how beautiful it is. All you have to do is put your arms out when the bald eagle takes off from her totem pole and keep them flapping until she makes it back to her totem pole safely. Now, your arms might get a little tired, but that's okay. That's how we build our muscular endurance. Don't stop flapping until you land. Have a great flight.
Hi, second graders. Welcome back from your break. I see that you have your whiteboard and marker. Go ahead and put them off to the side, and you can hold on to your Learning Buddy if you would like, or you can put your Learning Buddy off to the side as well. Gus did something for us. Gus, do you want to tell our friends at home what you did? Gus wrote a book that he wants to share with us. Do you want to read Gus's book? Let's do it. This is the book that Gus wrote. It's called Gus's Silly Rhymes. Gus, have you been practicing rhyming, finding word patterns to help you be a stronger writer? Excellent job. Kiss your brain. Now, let's read Gus's Silly Rhymes. Okay. We're going to read this together. Are you ready? Okay. I was with my friend Pete. I gave him a treat. It was super sweet, but there was too much heat. It melted, said Pete. Gus, you have grown so much as a writer. Look at all the rhymes on this page. Will you help me read the words that rhyme? It's the last word in each sentence. Pete, treat, sweet, heat, Pete. Gus, let's look at our grown-up writer chart and let's see how Gus has grown as a writer. As grown-up writers, we spell troublemaker words correctly. So let's look at Pete's writing. Or Pete, Gus, I know your name. Gus, what was a word that was a tricky word for you or a troublemaker word that you had to pay close attention to spell correctly? Oh, that is a tricky one for me too, and that's why we added it to our word book. Gus said the word there is tricky for him. How did you turn it into a troublemaker, or turn a troublemaker word into a word that you can read and write correctly? He used the trick. You can see the word here in the word there. That's how he knew which version of the word there. Gus, excellent job. All right, let's see what else. Write with periods and capitals. Did you do that as you were writing, Gus, or did you have to go back and edit? You did it as you were writing. You reminded yourself to write, and at the end of a sentence was a period and a capital. Let's look. A period and a capital. 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 And then we know that when we use quotations, we have punctuation in there, and then there's a period at the end. Gus, now, you had lots of periods and capitals. Now, did you write capitals on purpose and not just randomly throughout? Let's check. So let's first find all the capital letters. You look really closely at Gus's writing and find the capital letters. Okay, let's see. This is capital. This one's capital. Now, Gus, I can't tell with this S. Is this S a capital? No, it's not. Okay. So the words that you did capitalize were I And we know as grown-up writers that the word I is always capital, and you did it every time. You also capitalized Pete's name because it's his name, so that should always be capitalized. And let's see, you capitalized the word it because it is at the beginning of a sentence, and same with the word but. Excellent job. Let's see, what else? Spell words in parts and not patterns, not letter by letter. I can tell how you did that using rhymes because we are learning how writers use rhymes to write correctly. We practiced last week using rhymes to help us read words. Today, we're going to talk about how rhymes can also help us write correctly. Now, I'm just noticing one thing in Pete's writing. Pete, I keep calling Gus Pete, and that's because his friend's name is Pete in this writing. Gus, I apologize. Names are important. I know your name is Gus. I will do better. Let's reread Gus's writing and look really closely at the patterns that he used in his silly rhyme book. Here we go. I was with my friend Pete. I gave him a treat. It was super sweet, but there was too much heat. It melted, said Pete. Now, how did you know, Gus, how to spell the patterns? Okay, you knew how to write Pete's name because he's your friend, and so you know that it's the eat sound in Pete is spelled E-T-E. Okay, and then did you try different word patterns for each of the other words? You did, okay. But then how did you know if they were right? Because they looked right? Okay. I'm just looking at the word treat. Let me erase these others. I'm looking at the word treat. And that doesn't quite look right to me. So how about if our second grade friends help us on their whiteboards and on my whiteboard, and we'll look really closely at the word treat. Okay, awesome. Thanks, Gus. Okay, second graders, you need your whiteboard and your marker now. So remember, we always plug in the caps. We don't lose the cap. On your whiteboard, I want you to write the word treat like Gus did. He spelled it T-R-E-T-E. He used E-T-E to help him write the word treat because that's how Pete spelled his name. And I bet he also I bet he didn't write the word T-R-E-T. He would have had to have broken the word up by noticing the blend at the beginning, eat. Now let's try writing treat in a different way using another word pattern to make the eat sound. Look at Gus's writing. Oh, he wrote the word sweet. How did Gus use the eat sound, or how did Gus write the eat sound in the word sweet? Yeah, he wrote E-E-T. So let's try treat that way. T-R, eat, like sweet. The other word that rhymes was heat. Eat. And that, like in heat, is spelled E-A-T. Three different ways to write treat using word patterns to help us. Like in Pete, sweet, heat. Now look really closely at these. Which one looks right? Tell your learning buddy what you're thinking. Gus, the one that looks right to me is using the EAT word pattern, like in heat. That looks right to me. But you did an excellent job writing like a grown-up and using the other word patterns to help you. Second graders, we are learning how we can use rhyming words to help us write correctly. And when we do that, we use patterns, we try it different ways, and then we see which one looks right, just like we did with the word treat. Now, go ahead and put the cap on your marker and erase your whiteboard, because we're going to practice this in another sentence, another silly sentence. Okay, on your whiteboard, I want you to write this sentence. I once saw a writing on a Oh, I once saw a whale writing on a snail. Let's see. I once saw a whale riding on a snail. Now, I wasn't sure which word pattern would work with whale or snail. They both say ale. And I know a couple different ways to write that word part, that word pattern. So I tried one. And let's see if they look correct to you. If I look at whale, I have ale. I tried A-I-L. A-I-L. That doesn't look right to me. Which other one should I try? Okay, I'll try A-L-E, like I did with snail. That looks right. A-I-L just did not look right, but A-L-E looks right to me. Okay, I once saw a whale riding on a snail. So now I'm looking at snail, and snail doesn't look right with A-L-E. Which other one should I try? Okay, I'll try A-I-L. Let's see if that works. I'm just going to erase the whole word. That looks right to me. When you are writing words that rhyme, you can try different word patterns to help you and see which one looks right. Think about other words you know that have the same word part that you can spell and try those out. All right, go ahead and erase your whiteboard. Now, on your whiteboard, we're going to spell words that rhyme with whale and snail, and then we're going to use those words to write a silly rhyme. So, whale, snail, and we learned whale is spelled with A-L-E. Snail is spelled A-I-L. Now, let's think of words that rhyme with whale and snail. Whale, snail, pail. Oh, ooh. Okay, I'm gonna have to try this different ways. Let me see. Pail, like a bucket. Which one looks right to you? Pale, pale. This one looks right to me, I think. What do you think? Hmm. Let's keep going and think about that one. Whale, snail, pale, kale. I had kale in my soup the other day. Ah, I looked at the tag, so I know that kale is spelled with an A-L-E. Now I'm thinking the word pale can have two different meanings. Pale can be like, when I get sick, I look pale. I look closer like white. But if I have a pail, like I want to carry a pail of water, it's P-A-I-L. So this is the pail that I want. That's why they both looked right to me, because I've seen them both. But they had different meanings. Now this one's not looking right. I'm going to leave that one. This one doesn't look right. Okay. Pale, kale, whale, snail, mail. Mail, like I get mail. Okay, well now these both look right too, because the word mail can also have different meanings. We know the word for that. Words that sound the same but are spelled differently and have different meanings. Homophones. Male and pale are homophones. This male, spelled like whale, means a person who identifies their gender as male, as opposed to female or another gender identity. This male, spelled A-I-L, is like a letter in the mail. This is the one I was thinking, not that one. Okay. Whale, snail, pale, kale, male, stale. Like it's old, like stale, kale. Now I'm having a hard time saying these words. Oh my goodness. Which one looks right? This one, A-L-E, stale, kale. That looks right. This doesn't look right. Now, you are going to continue adding to your list of words that rhyme with whale and snail. Write it both ways and see which one looks right. Then you are going to write your own silly sentence like this. The whale got stale kale in the mail. That would be a bummer. You get your mail and you're excited that it's a letter, but it's just stale kale. Wah, wah. Now, second graders, this is your independent work today, is to play with these words, write them different ways, and see which ones look right. Now, sometimes words like pale and pale, they both look right. So you have to think really carefully, and maybe you could even use your independent reading books as examples to see if you can find the word in your book spelled correctly. Now, you'll remember that you can use powerful word patterns to help you read and write words that rhyme. You can also, like Gus modeled for us, find troublemaker words and use this Tackle a Word chart to help you so that the words no longer give you trouble. You can just write them quickly without thinking about it. So you can take more of your brain power looking at word patterns to find words that rhyme and use those word parts to help you write words correctly. You're also going to practice reading a page in your Snapwords book. You'll remember you can read it loud like a monster, scary like a witch, squeaky like a mouse, whisper like a secret, or invent your own. And if it's okay with you and it's okay with your adult, they can record you reading your page in your Snapwords book and email it to us here at our TV classroom. You could also email us your silly sentence that you wrote. I can't wait to read them. Oh, Mr. Kevin put up our email address there. You could also mail them to us in the snail mail, and our address comes up at the end of our show. Now is time for our affirmation. This is the part in the show when we get to remind ourselves of the positive and good in all of us. And I think the one, because I got really tripped up with that word pale today, I want us to remind ourselves that it's okay to not know the answer. If you're writing and you're trying to use word patterns to help you and you get to a word and you just can't figure out which one looks right, it's okay not to know the answer. So say that to yourself. It's okay to not know the answer. And what you can do is find the answer. Now, thank you so much, second graders, for struggling with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow in our TV classroom. Bye.
Hey kids, we want to see your work. Just send your pictures and your stories to TV Classroom, 601 South 8th Street, Tacoma, Washington, 98405.